I've spent 13 years in school. Yes, 13 years. And I couldn't tell you what a tax return is, what interest rates are, how to invest, but I could sit down and I can tell you what happened in the war in 1714. The purpose of this video isn't to say how bad school is and all the downsides, because that's a whole separate thing. There's tons and tons of videos on that out there. This is more about what school doesn't prepare you for your future, and problems and roadblocks and obstacles that you might run into a lot sooner than you may think. I'm Brayson, and let's get into this video. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is how money actually moves. So we all know what nouns are, or verbs. You probably heard them 10 different times throughout school, but no one ever tells you what happens to a paycheck before it really hits your bank account. So let's just take $25 an hour, for example. That's you're making 40 hours a week. You do the math and it seems like quite a bit of money. But from the job posting to what actually comes into your bank account, total different numbers. And it might almost feel like you're getting scammed at first, but let me reassure you, you're not. There's no scam here. The truth is, there's just rules to money. I'm not going to go in depth about all the rules, but there are plenty of videos out there that will teach you what a tax bracket is, what happens to your check before it hits your account, and why. And all I'm going to tell you to do is take one afternoon of your time. It doesn't have to be now or tonight or even really for the next few days. Just any time this week, just make it a goal to, even for 2 to 3 hours, just sit down and learn really how your money works. All right, the second thing I want to talk about is how to learn something on your own. So it kind of sounds backwards because the whole point of school is to teach you how to learn, but I think they're instead teaching you how to be taught. Now listen, they hand you a textbook, they give you an outline, they give you a guide, the teacher tells you what to do, right? So throughout school, everything is basically given to you. You have a path to follow, right? They give you something to lead towards. But when it comes to the real world, there's nobody to hold your hand, right? So to be able to teach yourself is to be able to go from, I don't know a thing about this, I don't have a clue, to I understand this, right? I am starting to get this. And that's such an important skill to have, because majority of jobs that you're probably going to have in your future, if not all jobs, half the things you're going to be learning, you're going to have to teach yourself. And that's why it's such an important skill to have, because you need to be able to be self-sufficient, to do things on your own and not always have someone to rely on you, because you're not always going to have someone to hold your hand for you. So next time you want to try and learn something, let me just give a small tip of advice here. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity or a class to go into or some mentor that's magically going to appear out of nowhere, because 9 times out of 10, it's not going to happen and you're just going to miss your opportunity. And I saw a quote, I don't remember where it was from, but I forget exactly how it goes, but it's that life is the greatest teacher. And I think that quote is so powerful, because it's basically saying that just getting out there and trying things and failing is going to teach you better than just sitting there and watching countless videos over and over how to do this, or doing a class where someone shows you everything and all you're doing is listening, right? Versus actually getting out there and trying and seeing what this works, or if it doesn't, try this. And trial and error and process of elimination. And that's the best tip I can give you. Just go out there and try. All right, number 3 is how to handle a loss. So I think school is really good at rewarding you when you win. They give you a gold trophy, they give you a star, they give you an A, and it feels great. But when you lose, it's almost absorbed. It's forgot about. They tell you to move on, think past it, get on to the next chapter, forget about it, do better. But losing is such a good learning opportunity, right? Instead of getting all mopey and pissed off or emotional or just forgetting about it completely, instead try to think why. Why did I fail that test? Why did I lose? Even in the race in PE, for whatever it is, no matter the extreme it is, losing is always an opportunity to learn. And I think instead of just forgetting about a loss, you need to be able to learn off of that, right? Because mistakes are going to be made, and the best people you see, those billionaires, the best at whatever you want to succeed in, I'm going to be honest with you, they just got comfortable with losing, right? It's not that they've never lost, and I guarantee they have all lost, every single last one of them, no matter what point it's at. Everyone loses. It's human nature. But I think what separates them from the rest is that they learn how to learn from their mistakes. When they lose, they ask themselves, why? Why did I lose and how can I do better? How can I win next time? All right, number 4 is how to actually talk to people. So school teaches us how to give presentations, how to present to a class, but that's not genuinely communicating, right? When I say how to talk to people, that means a conversation. I ask you something, you respond, you ask something back to me, I respond. That's how you communicate. And school doesn't teach you that, or they don't teach you how, I guess, when you're let's say you're in a disagreement. They don't explain how to not get all worked up, how to not get into a fight, how to de-escalate a situation, how to ask for something from somebody when you need it without getting all anxious and freaked out, or just how to simply say no to somebody, right? I think communication is such an important skill in life because that can help you get so much in life. It can help you with networking, it can help friendships, relationships, it can help all sorts of things. And that's why I feel like communication is such an important skill, and learning how to talk to people is something that I think every single person needs to learn at least at some point in their life. And honestly, the earlier you learn the skill, the better. All right, number 5 is that your worth is not a grade. So I'm sure a lot of you guys might already know this, but think of this as just reassurance, right? School teaches us, in a sense, that value is a number, right? If you get straight A's, you are smarter, you're more intelligent, you're brighter. You get D's and you're an idiot. That's not true at all. That couldn't be further from the truth. A grade doesn't measure how smart you are. It measures how much your brain is operating on that specific day. You know, were you having a good day? Were you not? Are there other problems going on in your life that are distracting you from school? Are you even interested in what Calc AB has to offer if you don't care about math? You know, how can you expect us to get an A and grade us off of how we are as humans if we're learning something that we don't care about, right? So what I'm trying to get after this is that stop basing yourself off of grades. You don't want to go to college, that's all right, right? In fact, if you don't want to go to college, don't even go at all. And if you do, go for it, right? What I'm trying to say is pursue something that you are passionate about, because if you are working a job that you hate for the next 30 years of your life till you retire, that just sounds miserable, at least to me, and I hope that does to you too. So find something you are passionate about and pursue it. So this one might be a bit boring here, but number 6 is just basic adult survival things, right? Like how to cook. You don't need to be a chef level. I'm not saying be an amazing cook, but learning how to make food for yourself. If you want to live on your own, we have to eat, right? We're humans. That's human nature. And I think a lot of people look past basic human skills because they live at home your whole life, right? At least I'm sure majority of you lived with your parents, and they do a lot more than you think. So first thing, go thank your parents because they need it. Go give them a hug or whatever. Go tell them thank you. And second off, learn basic skills that you are going to need. Just take a few minutes to picture you're off in your own apartment. You have nobody to rely on, right? Just you. Every single thing you need to do from the crack of dawn to nighttime, make sure you have the skills to do that. This seems very broad, right? But just anything that you do on a day-to-day basis that your parents do for you, learn it on your own, because at some point you're going to be off on your own and you need to learn how to be self-sufficient and how to rely on yourself. All right, number 7 is how credit and debt work. So they might go over this in economics maybe, or a few different business classes, but just the true important parts you need to get away from this. Credit cards are not your money. All right, let me make that super clear. You are not using your own money. So if you have a credit card, they're not necessarily bad, but use at your own risk is all I'm trying to say. Because if you don't pay your credit card off in full there's usually a monthly fee at the end of every single month. They charge you a fee for how much you spent on that credit card. And if you don't pay that off in time, you get interest. And interest over time can add up to a lot more than what you were paying initially. For what you put on that credit card, over time, if you aren't paying that off, interest is going to stack. And ask any adult, interest sucks. Nobody wants it. But credit cards aren't evil either, right? Credit score basically is a score to show how reliable, how trustworthy, how smart you are with money, which can help you get loans or down payments on homes, cars, or any bigger expenses, because banks are going to trust you with their money because your credit score is, let's say, 800. That means you are trustworthy with money. And therefore, they're going to trust you because they expect that you're going to get your payments on time and they're going to get their money back. All right, number 8 is super important, and it is how to manage your time. I think school also kind of holds your hand with this one, because you wake up, right? You do it at your morning routine, you go to school, bell rings, you go to your classes, and your day ends. But when you don't have school any longer, your days are all to you, right? Your decisions, everything from as soon as you wake up to bed, there's nobody there to tell you you have to be there. So learn how to prioritize. Now, let me get one thing straight. Time management isn't cramming everything into a super short period of time, just making sure you can get every little thing done, right? It's more or less about prioritizing the things you actually care about, right? Prioritizing your responsibilities, what has to get done, and what genuinely makes you happy. So whether that's going to the gym, right? Or whether that's eating healthy or getting good exercise or working on your business you're trying to start up, prioritize those things first that are most important to you and that are actually going to help you in life. And then any other extra time is your free time. Do whatever you'd like with that time, whether that is cramming whatever other things you want, or that's gaming or being lazy or doom scrolling on TikTok, right? All right. Number 9 is a really good skill to learn, and it's hard. And I myself have admittedly so, I am still working on this, but it's how to handle conflict. So let's say you get in a fight at school, right? You have a teacher to stop it. There's somebody that always stands in the middle of you. But in real life, there is no referee, there is no coach to stop you and split you apart from any conflict that's happening. And there's usually 2 ways people handle conflict that aren't doing it correctly, and that's 1, blowing up, exploding and freaking out, going off on the person, or number 2, bottling up and expressing none of their feelings. And both are just as wrong. But there's a happy and even middle ground, and it's actually a skill. It's learning how to calmly say, this bothered me. Can we take a few steps back, or can we talk in a few minutes when we both cool down and have some time to think, right? Being able to genuinely just de-escalate situations and keep a level head is not easy for anybody, but it is such an important skill, because conflict can either tear relationships apart or it can help you guys grow back even stronger. Number 10, if you guys need to hear this, because I'm sure some people do, but nobody actually has it all figured out, right? So what do I mean by this? Nobody has their whole life figured out, like I mentioned. School makes you feel like there's a path you have to follow, like you need to go to college, you need to work a job till you're 55, and then you go and retire with all your long-term investments. But that's not always the case for everybody. And that's just not real. That's not a happy way to live. For some, maybe it is. Some people need structure in life, but others don't. Some people want to travel the world, and that's okay. Some people want to try starting a business, and your business fails, and you retry again. That's okay, right? What I'm here to tell you is that at the age of 18, 19 years old, as soon as you graduate, you're not going to have it all figured out. And if you do, props to you, but I don't know a single person in my life at even 22 that has their whole life figured out. And I want you to understand that that's normal. That's only normal. That's only human nature. And don't feel like you're falling behind. Don't feel like everyone's going to surpass you and never be able to catch up. You're going to be a failure. You're not going to be successful in life. I want you to understand that it's fine to take your time, take a few steps back, and make the right decision. Don't rush your process. Don't rush your career path. Don't rush whatever you're trying to do, right? Just take it slow and relax, all right? So that's 10. Those are the 10 most important skills, in my opinion, that I think you should learn right after high school. Now, don't get the wrong idea here. I'm not some genius that's 19 making $1 million a year. No, I don't have much figured out myself either. I'm 18, I graduated last year, and I'm still learning myself. But through the research that I've done and through what I figured out, I figured I would at least share with you guys some of the most important tips that I learned. And the goal of this video, the main takeaway is that first off, learn these skills, and second off, if this even helps one of you guys watching this video out here, that means so much to me, because for a lot of people out there, including myself, it's scary when you graduate high school, because you've had that whole outline, the whole guide your whole life from the moment you started school till now, and now you have all this free time and you're basically told to just learn how to live, and that's easier said than done, right? So the main takeaway to get from this video is we're all still learning. We're all human, and it's normal to be nervous, but just make sure you can at least learn what you can, and these are the most important steps, in my opinion, that I think you should learn that are going to help you succeed in life. My name's Brayson, and I'll see you next time.